Marcus Rashford injury. Manchester United forward ruled out of Europa League tie versus Sevilla and a few games. Marcus Rashford was substituted in the 80th minute of Man United's 2-0 win over Everton on Saturday with a muscle injury. Rashford will miss the club's Europa League quarter-final first leg against Sevilla on Thursday and a few games. He has scored 28 goals in all competitions this season. Marcus Rashford will miss Manchester United's Europa League quarter-final on Thursday against Sevilla and a few games due to a muscle injury, however is expected to return for the season run-in, the club have confirmed. Rashford was substituted in the 80th minute of Saturday's 2-0 Premier League win over Everton at Old Trafford and immediately headed to the dressing room for treatment. United say the England international will be unavailable for a few games, but is expected to be back for the season run-in. Rashford has been a key part of the club's revival this season under Erik ten Hag by scoring 28 goals in all competitions, including one at Wembley in February which helped them lift the Carabao Cup, the first available trophy of the season. United, though, have recently seen Anthony Martial return to fitness and he scored the second goal on Saturday against Everton. Christian Eriksen is also back, coming on as a substitute on Saturday after returning from a lengthy injury layoff, while United are expected to have Casemiro in the squad on Thursday, with the midfielder having served his 4-game suspension, missing the last 3 Premier League games, plus their FA Cup tie with Fulham. Rashford's injury, coupled with the possibility of United playing 65 games this season if they reach the finals of the FA Cup and Europa League, prompted fresh calls from Ten Hag on Saturday for more considerate scheduling. United lost at Newcastle in last Sunday's late kickoff and played Brentford on Wednesday before kicking off last weekend's round of fixtures with the lunchtime game against Everton. Some things you can't avoid, but this was avoidable, Ten Hag said. Why has the Premier League given us the late Sunday night game and the early Saturday game? I think it's not right. You are running a risk. Players can't recover that quickly. All science and research will tell you players need a certain time to recover. It is also part of the schedule that we are now finding ourselves in this situation, and now we can only pray Rashford, is not dropping off.
Marcus Rashford will miss Manchester United's Europa League tie against Sevilla on Thursday because of a muscle injury that is likely to keep the forward out of action for a few games. However, United expect Rashford, who has scored 28 club goals this season, to be fit enough to play a part in the closing weeks of the campaign. A club statement said, the forward was withdrawn in the 80th minute of Saturday's 2-0 Premier League win over Everton at Old Trafford and immediately headed to the dressing room for treatment. Subsequent assessment of the injury suggested that Marcus will be unavailable for a few games, but is expected to be back for the season run-in. Manchester United forward Marcus Rashford will be out for a few games with a muscle injury. The 25-year-old England international left the field holding his groin during the second half of United's win over Everton on Saturday. United did not give a specific timeline for his return but said he is expected to play again this season. Rashford, who has scored 28 times this season, has played in all of United's league games. His side play Sevilla in the Europa League quarter-final first leg on Thursday at Old Trafford. The forward was withdrawn in the 80th minute of Saturday's 2-0 Premier League win over Everton at Old Trafford and immediately headed to the dressing room for treatment, United said. Subsequent assessment of the injury suggested that Marcus will be unavailable for a few games, but is expected to be back for the season run-in. Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag says it does not look well for Marcus Rashford after the striker picked up an injury during Saturday's 2-0 win against Everton. The 25-year-old England international pulled up with an apparent groin injury towards the end of the match. TV pictures showed Rashford walking slowly up the tunnel afterwards. When it was mentioned to Ten Hag that the damage looked serious, the Dutchman replied, "You are a doctor." However, he had already told BT Sport of his concerns and then complained about United's schedule, which involved them playing a late Sunday game last week and an early Saturday one in this round of fixtures. "We have to wait. He doesn't look well," Ten Hag said of Rashford. "This was avoidable. All science and research tell you players need a certain time to recover. It is also part of the schedule that we are now finding ourselves in this situation, and now we can only pray he is not dropping off."